Ever taken a break from your sport or felt like you needed to take a break from your sport because you just weren't loving it anymore? Well, Rick had a recent conversation with a student about this topic, and so we wanted to briefly touch on it to try and help you not get into those feelings.
Getting into those feelings. I like that. So the recent conversation I had a student that was in for a while. He had gotten all the way to blue belt and a little bit into blue belt, and kind of just told me one day, put his account on a pause or maybe he canceled it, I can't remember. And just told me that he just needed to take a break from the gym. And I was like, okay, people need to take breaks sometimes. I've had to take little breaks from the gym before, usually due to injuries or something like that. But so he comes back, a couple months later, and I asked him, I was like, so everything okay? Like, was there something happening? Was there something that you didn't feel good about here that was making you want to take a break from the gym? And he said, well, honestly, I was getting really frustrated and it was making me not love it because I felt like I was stuck where I wasn't making really any progress and I was losing all the time. And it was making me not love being here anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of resonated with me because it's probably something that is very common for a lot of blue belts, white belts, and just newer people in general, because a lot of your, I guess, metrics or indications on whether or not you want to keep doing this or you're good at this or you like it or any of those are usually based on your successes in this, right? I mean, it's most things, if you don't feel like you're getting better at, you're probably not going to want to continue doing them. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you're really stubborn like me and you just get mad and you just get madder and then you just get madder and then you quit for a little bit and then you just come back even madder because you're still not good at this. But it was something that I feel like a lot of people in the past have probably quit over and then maybe never even told us that was why. But we wanted to address this today because I'm sure it actually even happens in fitness and CrossFit and things like that, to where people just don't feel like they're making progress. And because of that, whether that progress is in their lifts, whether that progress is in their movements, whether that progress is in their weight loss, whether that progress is whatever it is, people will quit because they stop feeling like they're making progress. And then they wonder, why am I even putting myself through this?
So we didn't really see a lot of people quit in the CrossFit realm for not making progress or losing in competitions.
Really?
No, where I personally see a lot of people get frustrated and quit is on the nutrition side.
The weight loss side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that makes sense because if you're not feeling like you are making any progress, why are you putting yourself through so much pain and hardship and difficulty? Even though in a lot of ways, I feel like framing it as pain and hardship is going to lead to a lot of failure.
Yeah.
Because you're automatically putting it as a burden that you are just doing for a result.
You're automatically setting it up as a negative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're putting it as a burden. So the same thing happens in a lot of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that is we put so much pressure on ourselves to be successful that we stop finding reasons that we are enjoying it, and we start forgetting what goal brought us in to begin with. Yeah. Nobody comes in being like, I'm doing this because I'm going to be the best person in that gym. I mean, maybe there's a few of you guys out there. I mean, tell me in the comments if that's you. I mean, that's an interesting goal to have. But it's like, I'm going to drive by this gym and I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to join that gym until I'm the best best guy in there. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to move on.
On to the next.
Yeah, on to the next. I'm just going to go around conquering gyms. It's like, that's cool. I mean, fun idea. But I don't think that's why people start. A lot of people start because they want belonging, or they want fitness, or they want self-defense, or they want something that's just not boring, like running on a treadmill all the time. And I don't want to say lifting weights is boring because I actually love lifting weights. It's kind of therapeutic for me. But surprisingly, a lot of people, I've had 2 this week that came into the gym and they were like, well, I want to try something different that isn't just boring lifting weights anymore. And I'm like,
You're doing it wrong if you think lifting weights is boring.
Yeah, it's like, man, I love lifting weights.
Same.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, but that was literally why. They're like, well, I want something that's a bit more exciting, like that'll keep my fitness up. That's more exciting.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, okay, cool. But those are the original goals, right? Those are the people, like, I'm sure that you get that come in, like, what their goals are when they first start, like in like CrossFit and fitness, right?
In CrossFit, yeah, everybody comes in with I want to lose weight or I want to be healthier.
Yeah, or get in shape, or I want to be stronger, or,
Yeah.
Whatever. Do you have a lot that want to just do it for belonging?
Most people don't
Like,
want to...
they just want to join a community?
Nobody says that outright, but yes.
That's what keeps people there, you think?
Yeah, no, that's what definitely keeps people there, for sure. I think a lot of times in the past, we did get a lot of people that would join that just didn't want to go to Define or Planet or any of those anymore. But it was mostly because they wanted a class-led environment of weightlifting, and that's what CrossFit was.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But the thing is that we have all of these goals when we first come in, and then we lose track of these goals because when you start getting kind of acclimated to the environment and you see all of these different people and they're all competing against each other, because that's what in martial arts and the way that we do it in sport fighting and stuff like that, that's what it is.
That's what CrossFit is.
That's what CrossFit
We have the whiteboard and you write your time on there, and there are a lot of people that train in the evening/afternoon so that they can come in and see everybody's time from this morning.
They like do the last class of the night just so they can see everybody's score so they can beat it.
So they can make sure that they know what the fastest time was, and they will do everything in their power to beat that time.
Dang.
There are also other people...
Seems a little toxic.
That are... It's not toxic. There are also other people who are very competitive who will not write their time on the board until everybody else has already done, so that people don't know what their time was, so that people can't. Well, because there were...
That seems a little toxic.
So there were... No, I know. It's not toxic. It's just... You have certain people that their competitive nature just takes over so strongly that...
And please don't take toxic as meaning like I don't want people to do this. Because I'm a very toxic person. I love this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I love the competition. I love people who are constantly like, I'm going to wait for that guy to get tired and then I'm going to fight him. It's like, right? Beautiful. That's tactic thinking.
There's just people out there that were so set on beating that one person, right? Like, say I'm that person. Say I'm the person that I write my time on the board.
You were that person the other day when we did that CrossFit workout and you left me in the dust.
And I had.
I was walking in the rain with weights, and Cassie's like already sitting in the garage drying off because she's done, and I'm like, screw Cassie. Screw these weights. My arms are getting tired.
But like, so say I'm that person, right? I come to the morning class, I write my time on the board, and I just so happen to be the fastest time of the morning class. And then I have a friend that comes at the 4:30 class, and that friend goes and looks at my time and is like, I'm going to beat that time. Literally every single day, day in, day out.
It's a good motivator to see other people's times.
No, it absolutely is. But so what happens is now I become bitter that this person comes in and sees my time and only goes after me. Like, could care less about everybody else, but only goes after my time, right? Like, let's just say I'm not even the fastest time on the board, but my friend comes in and is solely just gunning for my time.
I love this scenario.
So now I'm like, well, screw
amazing.
You. I'm not going to write my time on the board anymore. So now you don't know what I did.
Ooh.
And so now at the end of the day, yeah, we can see what happens. But then the other thing that we would run into is there were people that were so dead set on being the best time that they would cheat. And they would say
you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Right. And they would say that they did RX when in fact they didn't actually do RX.
For those who don't know what that is, RX is typically there's standards.
There's a standard weight and there's a standard movement
Yeah.
for all of the things. And there's a standard height, like if there's box jumps, like there's a standard height. And
so meaning that one person can't lift 60 pounds and the other person lifts 40 pounds and they're judged the same.
Correct.
Yeah. So everybody lifts 40s or everybody lifts 30s. So then they judge the time.
Yeah.
Right?
So that it can be
RX, you have scaled and then you have the top, right?
So you can modify it, like if the weight says you have to lift 65 pounds, but you just can't lift 65 pounds in that movement, you can modify it down to a weight that you can lift. We just don't write RX next to your name on the board. But there would be people that would write RX no matter what they did, just because they wanted to be the best. And that would drive my competitive athletes insane.
Not Cassie though. Cassie
it.
was above that. Cassie was above being upset about this.
So when I first started, I was that person. I was super pissed when people would cheat and lie.
I knew she was. I was there for it.
But when I started coaching, I kind of let that side of me go, in the sense of I wasn't bitter about it anymore. I was like, you know what? They're just cheating themselves. Like, I know I'm better. No, this is the truth. I was still competitive. And I'm still competitive to this day. But the programming that I follow took away the whiteboard. They built their own app specifically that does not have a whiteboard. So if I want to compare my time to somebody else, I have to message that person. And because all of the programming that I follow is street parking, so it's all done in my garage by myself. If I don't personally know somebody else that's doing street parking, I have to be that creeper that like gets on the Facebook page and is like, so what was your time? And so my competitiveness has kind of been knocked down.
You've gone from a fire to a smolder.
Yes. And I still have a best friend that I text, and if I don't make goal time, so like the programming that I follow has a goal time. So they'll, like, a workout will be written and it will say like you should complete this workout with between 12 and 16 minutes. And if I get done doing that workout and I went over 16 minutes, I will immediately text her and I will screenshot the workout and ask her, like, is goal time legit on this?
Is this realistic?
Yeah. And if she texts me back and says yes, I like explode because I didn't make it. And I consider myself like fairly fit-ish person, right? I'm sorry, I feel like we've gone off on a tangent.
No, it's okay. I want to hear how this goes.
And so
we're all nail biting.
I know. So she'll go and do it and she'll text me her time, and she almost always falls in the goal range, which just makes me feel worse about myself because she now made the goal time and I didn't. And so I've kind of had to readjust my framing to know that there are some movements and some workouts that are put together that I'm just not going to make goal time, no matter how hard or how fit I am currently. And I just need to learn to be okay with that. And then there are some workouts where their goal time is like, you should finish this between 10 and 12 minutes, and I'll get done in 8 or 7, right? So I blew the goal time out of the water, and then that brings me back up to feeling real good about myself. So what I've learned is that sometimes goal times are realistic and they're there for a purpose, and other times, for me personally, they're no longer realistic, even though they are there for a purpose, right? And it's the same with the rolling and the sparring in Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai afterwards, is they're there for a purpose. Go on. To help dial your skills in, show your skills, and progress your skills. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be the only thing that you judge yourself on.
So I think based on the story that you've told, I think we've all learned a lesson here. I think that lesson is that Cassie is toxic and her ego in fitness is based upon her goal time. All right.
Coming from the one that was cursing me because he was slower than me.
I never said that I also wasn't toxic. So anyway, but this does bring up a very good point. Going back to a little bit of seriousness here. If your goal in whatever you're doing, martial arts, fitness, or whatever, is simply to be the best, like to always be the best, that's awesome. That's a great goal in my opinion. I'm not one of those people of like, you get your participation trophy, you're a 10th place medal. It's like, no. I absolutely believe in a meritocracy, and if you aren't very good at something, there's probably going to be somebody who is, and they're going to beat you, and that's just how life is.
Yeah.
However, there has to be a bit of a separation between why you love something and what you're doing it for, right? So I do martial arts now because it's my job, right? It's what I've built part of my career on. You know, it is mostly what, you know, has supported me and things like that. Mm-hmm. However, why I love it is different. I love it because of the endorphins, of the self-mastery, of the workouts. And I'll go into the gym, and I'm a black belt. And I've been a black belt for 10 years now. And I go into the gym, and I get smoked sometimes. I had this little Brazilian blue belt the other day who I completely underestimated. And I went in there, and I was just like, oh, yeah, a little blue belt. I'm going to let him work.
He came home mad.
and I was just like, I wasn't mad. Wasn't mad. But I was like, the little Brazilian. And he's like, this kid is like all he does is train. He's been in Brazil training as a full-time job pretty much. And he comes here. Life. He is brought here, sponsored to come here for training, not to our school, but to our another friend's school. And he's brought out there, and this guy's Brazilian as well. So he comes, he brings him in, right? And this guy is basically just training nonstop for a specific competition, and he's going in, and he's going to freaking tear it up.
Yeah.
So he's going in there, and I just see this kid, and I'm like, man, he's a little bit smaller than me, blue belt. Like, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to, roll with him. And normally with blue belts, I kind of go like pretty light. Like, I just kind of like move around. I'm just going to let you work. I'm going to work a little bit. But like, I don't treat it like if a black belt comes in, I treat it like my focus is on. Like, we're ready. Like, I'm going hard. Like, we're pushing it. Like, we're trying to get like something out of it. Blue belt, I don't view it the same.
I'm going to need all the blue belts to come at Rick in the comments.
Mm-hmm. So I go at it, and this kid like immediately like nearly throws me on my head. And then I stop that, and I'm like, what's happening here? And then he's like immediately going for this. And I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, I was like, okay, mindset shift. We need to start going hard. And then by then, like we're going, and he swept me at one point, and I was just like, well, shit. And I'm like, I'm coming back up, and I get out of that, and I'm like kind of being like a little bit defensive, getting back off, and like he's going back at me, and I'm like, and then the round ends. And I'm like, this mother, and I'm like, all right, let's go. But like, it happens. I mean, I'm a black belt. This kid's a blue belt. Granted, a very talented and working hard, like busy blue belt. But like, did that wreck my entire existence on jiu-jitsu?
It should.
You should have retired after that. You should have retired.
Just kidding. No, it shouldn't. In all seriousness, no.
No, it should not. It's like, okay, well, that happened. But the thing is that if we compare ourselves all the time to the progress of everybody else, like, do I train full time? No, I train at most a few hours a week.
Yeah.
Right now, because I'm teaching so much, and I'm running businesses, and I'm doing everything else, and it's like I have a lot going on that my actual time for myself on the mats isn't as high as it used to be. So
we talked about comparison in another video that we'd done, that you can't compare yourself to everybody else, because everybody else's training levels not only started at a different starting point, but you're all progressing together. And so if they started here when you started here, and everybody's progressing, mm-hmm. your progression is still going to look like less than theirs, but it's not. You're progressing at the same rate. They're training maybe 5 days a week instead of your 3, or
Yeah.
they came in with a lot more knowledge than you did, right?
They were a wrestler before and then you
Yeah.
weren't, or they're just naturally athletic, or they have more time to train.
I had the same thing in CrossFit. People used to come in that were newer than me and could do movements way better than me, and I used to get so pissed about it. But then I would learn, and most of the movements that they could do better than me were gymnastic movements. And then I would learn that they had a gymnastic background, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And I don't and I still to this day suck at gymnastic movements. Like, they don't come easy to me, they don't come naturally to me, which is super frustrating because I'm pretty athletic in general. And so for something to not come naturally to me is just infuriating. It's infuriating.
So, but it does bring up the good point, and I was actually going to say this is yeah, it's like when you're looking around and everything is relative to you and everything is progressing in the relative pace that you are going, you don't feel like you're actually making progress. It's like it's the weight loss thing where every single day you wake up and look in the mirror to see if you've looked any thinner, but you're seeing yourself so often.
Yeah.
With the same measurements,
Yeah, you look the
that
same,
you
you don't.
never to yourself look any different. But then the first time you see somebody else who hasn't seen you in a few months and they're like, oh, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. And you're like, really? Like, I look at myself all the time. I don't feel like I have, because it normalizes it to you.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is the same to you. And that was what was happening to this kid as well. It's like he was literally competing against the same people every day. And they were all like where everybody's getting belts, ranks, everything like the same. But he's always losing to the same people, or he's never feeling like he's making progress against the same people. But it's like, but the thing is that they're getting better too.
Yeah.
And you're getting better. So like if you were to go against yourself when you first came in there, you would whoop your ass.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm way better than I used to be.
Well, the other thing that people forget about when you're in jiu-jitsu and you train with the same 4 or 5 people all the time, those 4 or 5 people know your game. Mm-hmm. So they know how to stop you and beat you and where your holes are. Where if you were to change your rolling partners up a little bit more often and go with somebody that you've never rolled with.
Or go to a different open mat, cross train a little bit.
Yeah, your outcomes would look far different because those people don't know how you roll and you don't know how they roll. So things that you are really good at may work on them, where your training partners that you roll with all the time already know what you're going to do, and they're like, not today.
And something on that exact point, if your training partners know what you are doing all the time, change it up.
Yeah.
And changing it up, I will say, as a result of changing it up, you will lose. If you and your partners are like this going up, you'll go like this.
Yeah.
Right? And then you'll have like a way further distance to catch up because they're all doing the same thing that they're good at. And you were right here and you changed it and now you're down here. That happens all the time. But that is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, because what it's going to do is it's going to add a new challenge to you that you have to get good at from this. And now the metric just got a little bit further away. So now you can catch that back up. But the thing is that as you get better, they're still staying the same.
Yeah.
That's when it starts inverting.
Yeah.
Because you add way more pieces or way more tools to your tool set, and you're going to start adapting and being able to do different things at a better, a more successful rate. You know what I mean? So it gets you better. So when you're thinking about this, and you're thinking about the amount of enjoyment that you have in these type of things, in these types of sports, you have to consider a bit of one, why you started. Are you actually making progress in that way that you originally intended? And then, so if you are getting more fit, if you are learning better self-defense, are you your community, are you less feeling less lonely and more belonging? And then look at the other things, look at the other metrics, but remember why you started it, remember what your goals were, and then stop putting so much damn pressure on yourself to perform.
Yeah.
Go in for the enjoyment of it. Have you ever gone for a walk, just to walk, without racing your last walking time?
I do all the time.
Yeah. Right? It's the last time I walked this, I walked it in 27 minutes in this loop. It's okay, well, I need to walk it in 26:59. Otherwise, this whole walk was a waste of time. It's no, sometimes you just walk.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just go out there and you walk and you look at some birds You look at some trees. Look at some dog crap that somebody left on the trail that you get upset about because they should have cleaned up after themselves. But
why?
you just walk.
Yeah.
Just sometimes you just gotta come into the gym and just be there.
Take class and just roll.
Just be there. And if you win,
Don't
you
care.
win. If you, yeah.
Don't care about the wins. Don't care about the losses. Just go.
Enjoy it. You know, just like enjoy. You gotta reframe it. Sometimes life and happiness just requires a reframing of your brain. Be grateful for being able to be there and being able to move, that you're not paralyzed, or you're not sick in a deathbed somewhere, or you're not in a hospital, or you're not lame and does CrossFit instead of Jiu-Jitsu. You know, like one of these things, like reframe your brain into being like, I'm grateful that I can wake up every day and then I can do this, and I have the physical ability to do this, and it makes you happier.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We do know that that's easier said than done.
No, it's not.
It's easier said than done to change your mindset and to quit comparing yourself to other people. But to be able to get back to the love of the sport and the happiness of that sport, you need to figure out how to sideline that at least a little bit. Maybe not completely, but at least a little bit.
Yeah, find a way to go back to enjoying just being able to do it.
Yeah.
And then stop putting so much weight on yourself to be successful.
Yeah.
And be at a certain performance level.
Well, I don't think putting pressure on yourself to be successful is the right way. I think just stop putting pressure on yourself to be.
Yeah, I don't want you to not want to be successful.
Yeah, you should want to succeed. You should want to grow. But
don't make whether or not you like it or dislike it based on that success.
Yeah, correct.
I guess what I'm trying to say.
Success is not a straight line up. It's a wavy ups and downs to get up there. And any person that you talk to that is successful in anything, any realm, business, fitness, anything, will tell you
failures.
They have highs and lows. And those lows are what make the highs feel better.
Mm-hmm. What was the saying? It took me 10 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
So, just keep that in mind. And I hope this you find valuable, and it is something that makes it a little bit easier for you when you're having those low days and you're thinking about quitting and you don't feel like you loved it. Think about this, all right? Reference this video back. Reach out to one of us. Like, that's cool. I'll tell you, suck it up, knock it off. That's fine with me.
If you'd like a more nurturing response, reach out to me.
I'm nurturing. I tell people.
Suck it up, buttercup.
It's like, shit's hard sometimes. But hard is why we do it. And if it was easy, it would be boring.
Yep.
So otherwise, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys in the next one.